You're through to rakutensplay.com. Please note your call may be recorded for training and quality purposes.
Thanks.
Good morning, you're speaking to Emma at play.com. Can I please take your order number, please? Okay, and how can I help you?
We were on the point of making a negative review, but we wanted to give your company the opportunity to redeem the situation prior to doing so, being sensitive to the effect that such reviews can have. I control about 105 websites and own several companies myself. Now, a few days ago we made this order on the basis of the photograph which was to the left of the description of the item that we intended to buy. And looking on the left-hand side of the writing, you'll see in the image that there is a button on the top of the toy, and towards the bottom near the right-hand side, which is actually the front of the toy, there is a white lamp. Now, that would indicate that it's the toy where you press the button, the light comes on. But in fact, the toy that was delivered may indeed match the description of the words, but certainly does not match the description of the image. There is no button and there is no lamp. Now, the thing is, in the meantime, our children have done an event, and we promised them as a reward to have specifically a particular toy. So now we are at risk of losing our reputation in the eyes of our children because we've bought the wrong product from them with an assurance to them that we would have it for them. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, have you contacted the seller directly?
No, because the seller, I do not believe, has made any error, because the seller has probably sold us what you instructed them to sell us on the basis of the description on your website. The seller didn't show us...
The seller has to check the description with the item.
No, the description is correct. The problem is the photograph. Now,
I understand.
okay, do you understand? Because it may be that you would prefer for me to speak to a supervisor.
I mean, that is fine if you would like to speak to a
yes,
supervisor.
Please. Yes, please.
I can go and get one for you.
Yes, please.
But you would have to take this up with the seller directly. The seller's the one who lists the item.
Emma, let me just explain the situation to you. As you know very well, this call's being recorded both by your side and my side. If you are telling me that your website is not at fault for showing a wrong image beside a description, then if your supervisor agrees with you, what will happen is that with your company's permission, and if they don't give it, it will look even worse, I intend to create a website warning people about the dangers of ordering through your website, albeit with the seller themselves, but as your website is the agent for the seller, that's who I would be warning them against. Is that clear?
Yes, I do understand what you are saying,
okay.
And I can see if I can get a supervisor for you,
okay.
So you can discuss this further with
Thank
them.
you very
okay?
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hiya. Thank you very much for holding there.
That's
Now,
okay.
I've just been in contact with my team leader,
Right.
and they've confirmed that it is our fault as the picture, the image is not matching the description.
Right.
Now, what we will do is we can contact our merchant help desk
Okay.
to inform them of this,
Right.
but you will still need to contact the seller to return this item for a refund.
Okay, look,
But
we listen, we don't...
will cover them.
If I may just explain something to you, I don't care about the money. What I care about is getting the device, the toy, which we tried to buy from the website. So the way to rectify this is for us to... I don't care if we have to pay whatever we have to pay, as long as it's reasonable, but we need to get the device, which we believed that we were buying several days ago. So I'm happy to keep this or throw it away. It really doesn't matter. It's just that I do need the toy that was on the website that we thought we were buying.
I understand that, but we would need to pass this over to our merchant help there, who would then have to contact each seller to discuss this with them. But I understand.
Look, as far as your company is concerned, I think all you're interested in is what is the outcome. Now, if the outcome is that we get the toy that we believed that we were purchasing, then there is no problem. If we don't get that toy, or I've got to spend a lot of my time chasing around getting that toy all over again, which I believed I had already done on the basis of the information visually provided on your website, then the outcome for your company is not going to be good in terms of reputation. So are you able to assure me that your company is going to do whatever it's going to take to ensure that I get the toy that we believed that we were purchasing on the basis of the visual information provided on your website?
Okay, unfortunately we cannot place an order for you, and each item is sold by an individual seller.
Okay,
I cannot do that, I'm afraid.
do you understand that I have no option but to now create a website which describes the services offered by Play.com to advise people that when they think they're buying a particular item on Play.com, and please understand I do this for a living, marketing and counter-marketing, that I must create a website and warn potential future customers of Play.com that when they buy an item on the basis of the information provided on your website, there's a good chance that they're not going to get the item that they believe that they're purchasing.
I understand that you've had a problem with this, and as I say, we will contact our merchant help desk to advise each seller.
Emma, I'm just listen.
I cannot place the order for you, and that is your choice whether you want to make that website.
Emma, let me just explain something to you, okay? I'm not sure that you really want to take on the responsibility that what I am implying actually infers to you personally. Okay, I employ about 700 people, and if something like this happened to my company, I'd want to be dealing with it directly myself. I wouldn't get one of my people to deal with it, because this represents a reputational loss. When we come to a middleman such as Play.com, they're there for a reason. The reason we don't go directly to this seller is because you have forged relationships with that are based on price and communication. Where your price and your communication skills are in doubt, there is no motivation on the behalf of the buyer to use you as a middleman. Okay, so something like this in a well-presented website that explains all the details of what has gone wrong and why it's a bad idea to use Play.com would be damaging to your website. And if I owned your company, I would be very worried about the prospect of this inquiry not being put to the highest person in your chain of command who would have the opportunity to prevent it from happening. Is what I've just said quite clear?
Yes, it is, John. And if you're okay to hold the line, I will go and get my team leader.
I'd appreciate that.
To discuss this matter further, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you're okay just to hold the line for
Yes,
2
certainly.
minutes.
I'll hold.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is that Mr. Rhys Evans?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to, please?
Hi, Mr. Rhys Evans. My name's Alan Hughes. I'm a supervisor on today. So the big issue, I believe, obviously, you've got one of these Thomas take-and-play engines, and you're saying the picture's actually incorrect for what you've actually received,
yes.
Which we obviously do take on board. That may be an error with ourselves, because the seller just puts it up against the description and the name of the item.
Right.
So I'm just having a quick look for you. And is it the actual Thomas one you've got? Can I ask?
Okay, firstly, let me tell you that I run businesses for a living. I'm not a toy expert. However, my son, who is 5 years old, explained to me very clearly what it was that he wanted as a reward for some work of climbing a mountain, which he did for us last week. Now, what he said is he wants a little metal train where you press a button and a light comes on at the front. Now, I don't know if you're privy to my orders there, but if you can see...
I am, yes.
Okay, there's a photograph of a little metal Thomas with a button at the top of the little black bit.
Okay, let me just have a quick look. The problem is with the sellers, they just bring up the information, the items. I'm actually searching for it online to make sure I've got the one, and when I've brought it up, it's brought up a whole range of Thomas toys like this. So it's the specific Thomas one that he's got. So by the look of it, I'm just I actually see what you kind of mean.
Yep.
Let me just have a look, because I've actually personally got this actual item for my young son, so I actually know exactly what you mean in terms of it. So I'm just going to get it up, because I kind of there's something on the top of it, I believe. Here we go. That looks like it could be
a button.
Could be a button, yeah, like a rectangular shape that looks like you could push in. Now, I'm just having a look.
Because the two distinguishing...
Right, my understanding, and this is actual personal experience, as in I've got, my son's got about 3 of these, is that image does actually look correct for what the item is. Whilst it isn't a button, I believe, I won't say for definite because obviously I haven't seen it for a little bit of time, but I believe that should be there, but it's not a button in itself.
Okay, let me be very clear. Do you see below Thomas's boiler on your screen, if your screen is set to the normal resolution for a 15-inch screen, let's look about 3.5 centimetres below Thomas's boiler. Do you see there is a white object that sticks out of the rear line?
Yes, I see his boiler.
Okay,
below that,
about 3 centimetres below his boiler, you'll see a white object which is proceeding to the front out of the right-hand wheel arch.
Looks like a light.
That's correct, yes. That is absent on the toy that was sent to us.
Say that again, sorry.
That is absent.
Not on there.
That is not on the toy which I have in my hand.
Right, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, of course. Right, okay. I mean, the biggest thing that we can do, obviously, with this is that we do need to let our trade department aware of this.
Yeah, I mean,
this would be an image that they have received based on the actual product itself.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the internal...
We need to obviously, from our point of view, first, one of the things that we need to do is alert them so that we can find a correct picture.
Yes.
And update it so that the sellers aren't sending incorrect items. Okay?
Yes, yeah.
The only, obviously, then we also need to sort out the issue at hand. Now, the seller, by the look of it, has sent the correct item, but it's our error.
Which is why we didn't contact the seller. Yeah.
That the picture's wrong.
I mean, Stephen, if I can just be very clear, if I can just quickly come in here and be very clear.
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, we have not contacted the seller because as far as I'm concerned, I mean, my own job requires me to liaise with several companies, but the important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is whether my client gets what I tell them they're going to get when they contact me and pay me for a service. So if I wrongly instruct my seller or my supplier or wrongly advertise my supplier's services, of course the onus is on me to remedy whatever are the consequences of that false sale, as far as the advertising standards are concerned for it. So now here, the seller I don't believe is at fault. I don't care about
I believe you.
Okay, I don't care about refunding it. All I care about is the fact that we spent about half an hour of our time researching this on the basis of the information that we flicked through until we saw a photograph that matched the description that my 5-year-old son gave to us. So we spent quite a lot of time, and so we're quite... Obviously, you will understand we're quite annoyed at having lost so much time if we get nothing out of this that is useful to us.
I understand. I've got two solutions which obviously I'm prepared to offer you in this instance. Okay. The first one would be what we technically should do, which is we could contact the seller, organise for you to send it back, and obviously pay for your postage with that. The other way around it, which I'm quite happy to do in this instance, obviously we're going to try and rectify the picture in our area, but we could allow you to obviously keep the item, and in a way that doesn't affect the seller, we could add maybe super points to your account for the value of the item, which I believe is...
Do you know, Stephen, to be honest, I honestly don't care about the money or points or anything like that. All I care about is getting the item, and I'm happy to pay again for it, getting the item that matches that photograph.
Sorry, I mean, the trouble is with it just being a photograph issue, there's nothing wrong with the stock, obviously, and it's a photograph issue. You know, the only thing we can do is actually update the actual, update the photograph.
Okay, so if you're in the toy industry...
The seller, we don't operate as a retailer ourselves anymore. We're a platform for traders to go on. So the only thing that we can really do is sort of refund or like I said, some sort of like super points, so that you could obviously hopefully find something else on the website that you would like.
Do you know this?
As far as I understand it, unfortunately my computer's crashed, so I can't even look into it. But as far as I know, we won't be able to.
I understand, Stephen, but you do understand that your viewers need to understand the limitations of using your website, if that is the case. If you're saying that you're in the toy industry and you're not capable of identifying this toy and finding one and working out how to sell it to me, then your readers need to understand that. You understand me, don't you?
Well, I understand where you're coming from. Like I said, it's all to do with it's a difficult one because we're not actually doing anything with the stock or anything like that. We provide the platform for traders to sell, which basically means that they'll put their item up by the look of it correctly done so by our trader, and if the pitch is wrong, then unfortunately, unless someone else sells it on the website in exactly the right format that you want it, there's nothing we can do to get you that item, unfortunately.
Okay, so can I just confirm something with you?
Okay.
Would you feel that it was fair that right now I purchase a domain? I'm just on there we go, it's available for £8.99, RakutenPlayReviews.com. And then I write a small website. I just get one of my guys in my office to write a small website, which I optimize with the keywords Rakuten Play. I publish this conversation, which is being recorded, as you know. You gave permission with your robot at the beginning of this conversation. And I write a description explaining what is a likely experience that people may encounter when they attempt to order through Rakuten Play. And I explain that your company was given the opportunity to remedy the situation by finding the product which they had photographed and sold to me on the basis of that image, but that they had no capability to find that product for me, and that is the motivation for the creation of the site.
Well, I'm not in a position to allow.
So who is in that position?
To do that, obviously, I'm a supervisor in the call centre.
Okay, well, listen. If this were my company,
that you need to do something like that.
Okay.
By all means, you can email through, and we can pass it on to our head office
Stephen.
I'm not. Obviously, I've got to categorically say that I have no authority in that sense.
Okay, could you put me through
to allow you to do that? I'll be honest with you.
Could you please put me through to somebody who would be in authority right now? And if you don't have the opportunity, I don't have time to write. I'm going to press this button that says next and purchase a domain for $8.99 and create that warning.
Well, this is actually as high as we can take on the call. The only thing that I could probably possibly do for you would be to email our head office for you instead of obviously you taking the time to email.
Have I understood correctly that you are the highest person in the chain of command that I could speak to on the telephone right now?
No, you can speak to on the phone, yeah. In the call centre, this is as high as you can take it. So we would be able to pass that on to someone in our head office.
Okay, no need
to look into who has a bit more authority that would hopefully be able to contact you back and have a discussion with you regarding the website creation.
Don't worry. I've bought the domain. I'll go ahead and create it. It'll just be something like a 3-page site. We'll try to optimize it, and we'll see what becomes of it. Anyway, Stephen, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye for now.